Once upon a time there was a beautiful unicorn princess named Stardust who lived in a magical kingdom in the clouds. Stardust spent her days frolicking through flower fields and splashing in rainbow rivers with her unicorn friends. However, Stardust longed for an adventure outside of her cloud kingdom. One sunny morning, Stardust decided today was the day she would finally explore the world below the clouds. She used her strong unicorn magic to make a rainbow slide that stretched all the way down to the ground. Stardust said goodbye to her unicorn friends and family and slid down the rainbow slide, squealing with excitement. When she reached the bottom, Stardust found herself in a lush green forest. The trees were taller than any tree in her kingdom and beautiful birds sang unfamiliar songs. Stardust explored the forest, stopping to sniff colorful flowers and munch on sweet grass. After exploring the forest, Stardust came upon a bubbling brook. She took a drink of the fresh water and splashed happily. On the other side of the brook, Stardust spotted a human village. Her heart raced with excitement. She had never seen humans before. Stardust walked carefully into the village square. The humans gasped when they saw the unicorn. Stardust was worried for a moment, but then the children began to giggle and run towards her. They took turns petting her soft white coat and braiding her rainbow mane. The village leader welcomed Stardust to stay for supper. She ate hay and oats and fruit tarts for dessert. The humans were very kind. They loved hearing stories about Stardust's magical kingdom. When night fell, Stardust began to feel homesick. The village leader understood and gave her a woven blanket as a gift. Stardust said goodbye and followed the brook out of the village back to the forest. Back in the lush forest, Stardust snuggled into her new blanket and fell asleep under the stars. That night she dreamed of her home and her unicorn family. As much as she loved exploring, she missed them very much. In the morning, Stardust folded up her blanket and followed the rainbow slide back up into the sky to return home. Her unicorn friends and family whinnied with joy when they saw her. They wanted to hear all about her adventure. Stardust told them about the tall trees, sweet flowers, new animal friends, and the kind humans she met. Her family was amazed that humans were real. Stardust knew this would not be her last adventure. Now that she had seen some of the world below the clouds, she wanted to explore more. But for now, she was happy to be home in her magical kingdom. Stardust joined her unicorn friends splashing in the rainbow rivers and promised to take them on her next adventure into the unknown lands beyond their cloud kingdom. Once upon a time there was a young boy named Tommy who loved exploring. One day while playing in his backyard, he stumbled upon a small door hidden underneath some bushes. When Tommy opened the door, he couldn't believe his eyes. There was a long tunnel that seemed to lead to a magical world. Tommy squeezed through the door and started crawling through the surprisingly spacious tunnel. As Tommy crawled further into the tunnel, he noticed the walls were made of colorful bricks and the ground felt soft and springy, almost like he was crawling through a cloud. The tunnel wound left and right and up and down, and just when Tommy thought it might not end, he popped out into the most incredible place he had ever seen. There were rainbows arcing across the pastel blue sky and gently rolling hills covered in lush grass and flowers. But the most amazing sight was the unicorns. There were unicorns with sparkling horns frolicking in the meadows, baby unicorns prancing along with their mothers, and wise old unicorns gazing down from the hilltops. Tommy couldn't believe his eyes. He had never imagined a place as beautiful and wondrous as this could exist. As he walked through the grass, the unicorns eyed him curiously but didn't seem afraid. One little baby unicorn with a golden horn even came right up to Tommy and nuzzled his hand. Tommy giggled as the unicorn's horn tickled his palm. He pet the unicorn's shimmering white mane and looked into its dark, soulful eyes. The unicorn made a happy neighing sound and gamboled back to its mother. Tommy explored the magical land, watching the unicorns until the sky turned a rosy pink with the setting sun. He wondered if he would ever find his way back home, but for now he was happy to stay in this special place. As night fell, the unicorns nestled down in the grass and went to sleep. Tommy curled up under the stars next to a sleeping unicorn, hugging its warm belly like a pillow. He felt safe and at peace here among the unicorns. As Tommy drifted off to sleep, he wondered if he had found a new home. When Tommy awoke the next morning, a unicorn was sniffing his face. He sat up and saw that all the unicorns were awake now, grazing on the dew-covered grass and flowers. The scent of honeysuckle hung sweetly in the air. Tommy's new unicorn friend nuzzled his cheek affectionately. "Good morning," said Tommy with a laugh, hugging the unicorn. Tommy spent the whole day playing and exploring with the unicorns. They gave him joyful rides on their backs, spraying rainbows from their horns into the sky. Tommy even helped the baby unicorns practice finding magic crystals with their horns. He was having so much fun that he didn't want to leave, but he missed his family. That night, with a sad heart, Tommy said goodbye to the magical land and unicorns. The unicorns gathered around and nuzzled him with their horns, as if saying they would miss him too. Tommy crawled back through the tunnel, which seemed shorter than before. He popped out the small door into his familiar backyard. His mom called his name. It was dinner time already. Tommy rushed inside and gave his mom and dad big hugs. That night, he fell asleep dreaming of unicorns. The next day, Tommy went back to the small door in the bushes and crawled through the tunnel eagerly, wondering what adventures awaited him. But no matter how far he crawled, he never reached the magical land again. Tommy realized it must have been a very special dream that he was lucky to have experienced. He would always remember his unicorn friends and the joy they brought him. Though Tommy could no longer visit, the unicorns remained alive in his imagination, and he carried their magical spirit with him forever.